One would know. In Germany and overseas, you would pronounce your last name first. So, like I say, in America, I'm an American citizen as Brian Briley, but in Germany, I would be known as Briley Brian or something like that. And the same thing was with Lucifer Star. In America, I was Lucifer Star. In Germany, I was Star Lucifer. Mostly because it denotes where I started from. I started from, and also it's because my first name was Star. For the longest time, I was just known as Star, or and before that, I was known as no name, the person with the life form without a name. Because I was like, I don't really need a name. Names just get in the way. So anyway, so for some period of time, I didn't have a name, and then I named myself and the stars. I decided to call anyway, whatever. Anyway, whatever. It's a long time ago. Like I say, if you want the truth, go ask another planet. Ask Mars or contact another planet. There are other planets out there with life forms on them. Go ask them about me, and then get back to me. But anyway, in the past though, it wasn't Stalin or Starlin. It would have been pronounced Starlin or Star, basically. Star Staff or Star L, basically. Star Lucifer, really, was my name. My name was Lucifer. So Lucifer Star. Anyway, like I say, I mean, I don't really care anymore. But the airships, basically, I was a master inventor for a long time, leading people, and that's why there's stars, airships, stuff like that. I named everything. Anyway, I don't really care anymore. It's like whatever, They tried to kill me and called me crazy for thousands of years, and even in deep space, I was denied as being the creator of the stars. And even then, and then later on, they were saying that there's not enough resources, and we're going to run out of fuel, and we're going to run out of metal eventually, and we're going to run out of resources, and we're going to deforest the trees, and it's end of the world. And it's like, what are you talking about? We make more. There's more matter in the universe every day, and there's bigger planets in the universe every day. There's more of everything every day. And as far as oil and stuff, we can actually manufacture oil fairly easily. You can make it from corn, you can make it from wood, you can make it from just about anything. It's all, using the secret is steam and heat, and the proper balance of heat and steam and other things to soften the wood, and then turn it into a pulp, and then you cook it at a temperature. I forget what the temperature is. Anyway, there's a whole process to creating oil, but you can basically turn wood into oil all day long. There's a process for it. Anyway, scientists figured it out, and we figured it out somewhere around 1800 or 1700, where we could just manufacture oil pretty easily. And also, it's also about the enzymes and the bacteria that they ate the wood. And they were also genetically created and everything like that, and they're everywhere throughout the world. I mean, whatever. Like I said, and you can make fuel from alcohol, which is basically made from, which can be distilled from wood, or it can be distilled from corn, or it can be distilled from sugar and other things. I mean, it's not really a problem. Making fuel is actually really easy. You can distill it from poop. You can make fuel from poop. I mean, the variety of fuel sources are wide ranging and almost endless, basically. So there's really no shortage of anything. And then of course there's electrical power, which can be made from thermal power. It can be made from solar, wind, and also coal or steam. Also wave actions, rivers, hydropower. So there's really no end to resources at all, ever. And so a lot of people are waiting for the world to end and on all kinds of other stuff. It's like, the world's not going to end. I built this place really nice for a reason. It's built to last. And a lot of people were like, anyway though, but Zeppelins and all the other stuff, those were my airships made with aluminum and other super light, strong metals. And anyway, very expensive. Anyway, and I wanted a polar expedition at some point in time, and so Lenin or whatever, it was the Lenin Council, I believe, which is what it was called back then. I wanted to get more. It's kind of like a documentary. I wanted them to film the polar ice caps and stuff like that, and the balloon could basically just float over the polar ice caps. So they mounted an expedition, and they even made a movie about it while they were doing the expedition or something like that. And I think there were maybe more than one. Anyway, that's why the engines were white, because I wanted them to be white, because it's basically Renault or the White Star fleet, you know, using my white paint and everything else like that, and basically Lusifer Star, White Star. So anyway, yeah, that's why, you know, it gets all confused, and we have a war and all kinds of other stuff, and some crazy people trying to like do something. And like I said, I don't really know. I'm just like the creator and the person who invented and led my people to the great spot that they are. But I was also the one that wanted to have it all documented, because I was like, this is going to be epic, so let's document it, let's film it, and also make a movie about it, you know, and make a movie while we're doing it. And I think there was one expedition that did it, and then we filmed it, or something. I don't really know anymore. But lots of people would look back at all the old films and go, huh, what was going on? It's like, well, I'm Lusifer Star. I'm the one who invested in the Auschwitz sites and all the other stuff, and led people to the Auschwitz sites and had people doing the Auschwitz sites, you know, all the different sciences. And that's how I know what was going on there. And I was the king, I was Lord of Germany, and basically your creator, and all that other stuff. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter now. Millions of people would wonder, why is there stars? Why is there this? Why is there that? What does it all mean? And it's like, well, I can only tell you some of what I know. You know, I don't really remember, and like I say, there was quite a few times where basically I was, you know, and kidnapped, basically. Because I knew who I was, and other people found out who I was, and then they thought that no one else knew who I was, and it's like, well, 400 planets or 120 planets know who I am, and then, you know, there's just that little bit of a thing, and then they were trying to make me forget who I was permanently, and all kinds of other stuff, and it's like, oh, it's such a headache. I don't even care anymore. You know, I've said this before. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, Nixon or JFK was trying to have me committed, and then lobotomized. Basically, they're going to stick a spike in me and swiggle it around and all that. And there's even some evidence that may have actually happened to me. So at some point in time in my existence. So anyway, and then maybe I was put back together. I'm not exactly sure. Like I say, so much time has passed and so many things have happened. It's been 100 trillion years, basically. And a lot of people were like, how much time has passed? I was like, well, I had a space clock, and two galaxies were 100 trillion years apart as my LS space clock, so I could know how much time had passed. So since they say that that's about 680 trillion or 680 billion years away now, and it was originally 100 trillion years away, and I thought originally that was 100 billion, but I was wrong. It's 100 trillion. It was a long ways away. Almost where, you know, so just barely be, you know, take a long time to get here. So anyway, because I want it way apart. Anyway, and I don't care anymore. It's like, whatever, you know, I'm going to be dead soon anyway. So anyway, but if you're wondering who I was, what was going on, and how much time has passed between when I existed and when I started building stars and everything else, well, 100 trillion years about. So anyway, a long time has gone by, basically. If that other galaxy is only 680 billion years from now, then it's been 100 trillion years. So, or 90 trillion years. So anyway, yeah, that's about right. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, and yeah, so Zeppelins and all that other stuff, you know. Anyway, whatever. I don't really care anymore, and, you know, like I said, I've been denied this whole time, and other people have been living inside my house and all kinds of stuff, and running around saying that they were gods or immortals or something, and it's like, well, I got lost anyway, so. And then Rodney was like, you're not going to win, I'm telling me that I'm crazy and everything else like that. Anyway, whatever. So, anyway, yeah. My channel's really boring, so you probably don't even, you probably want to unsubscribe to it, because a lot of the things, I mean, it's true who I am, but whatever.